By the title of this post, you can see it's a fairly serious subject that I wish to discuss. It'll take me a few minutes to get through the subject that I want to talk about, to get you to understand why I think that now might be the time that we need to start testing Welsh Springer Spaniels for the 3 genetic conditions that they are predisposed to. So to that end, I'm going to break the video into 4 parts, and it'll make it easier to digest, it'll make it easier to upload. Can I just start by saying though that I don't have an axe to grind, a bone to pick, a beef with any other Welsh Springer Spaniel breeder. I know a few of you have issues with me, which I find unbelievable, as those who have a problem with me have never met me or even spoken to me. I say this because the content of these next few videos might ruffle a few feathers, they might upset a few people, and it might put people in a position of wanting to try and rubbish what I'm saying, to disprove the data or the test that I'm talking about, or even discredit me. And to that end, I have spoken to genetic scientists, I have spoken to vets who breed dogs, to basically make these videos as clear and as accurate as they can be. When we started on our journey with the Welsh Springer Spaniels, we first got some statistics through that were quite interesting. The first one being that conservation firms and organisations have a test. This scale is designed to ascertain the robustness and the health of a breeding population of any species or any breed. The higher the number, the more robust, the more healthy they are. The lower, the closer to extinction that they are. And when a breed or a species gets to 50 on this scale, the conservationists start getting a bit twitchy, because there is certain things that are really affecting the potential of the survival of this population. The Welsh Springer Spaniel is at 36 and a bit on this scale. So a few years ago, when we started doing our research and getting into the Welsh Spaniels, we set ourselves 3 objectives. One was to get the Welsh Springer Spaniel into as many homes as we can, so that we can get as many people just benefiting from this wonderful, wonderful breed. The second of the objectives was to get the dog off the at-risk register. And third, we wanted to improve the genetic strength of this breed so that it would be around for generations to come. When we started speaking to people in the Welsh Springer Spaniel arena, we spoke to breeders, we spoke to working people who were working their dogs, we spoke to pet owners, we spoke to vets, we spoke to show people, and 2 things became very clear to us. First one was that there was a lot of negativity and narrow-mindedness about what we were trying to do. There was a lot of unpleasant comments, and just a lot of discord between people. There was people who were snapping and sniping at each other, and that wasn't what we expected. We expected, with it being an at-risk breed, for everybody to be sort of pulling in the same direction, but that wasn't the case as we saw it. The second thing that became quite surprising was when we started talking about the health of the breed. We found people who were in denial about the health, people with their head in the sands about it, and you know, we had breeders who didn't know anything about genetic testing. They didn't even know that the breed had 3 conditions that they were predisposed to, which to my mind was just unthinkable. And when we did start talking to people about the genetic testing, the blowback was phenomenal. We had people ghosting us, just stopping speaking to us. We had people who just didn't want to talk to us about anything. The whole overall perspective we were getting was, there isn't a problem with the breed, we don't need to test, there's no requirement for it, we don't need to do it, and we're not doing it. To the point that I was even told that the Kennel Club say we don't need to do it. So I rang the Kennel Club and spoke to somebody who said to me, yes, we know about the 3 tests, we know about the 3 conditions that the Welsh Springer Spaniel are predisposed to, but we don't believe there's a problem in the breed, and therefore there is no need to test. So I said to them, how do you know there's not a problem with the breed? They said, well, dogs aren't presenting with these conditions, so there isn't a problem. I said, well, first of all, are we going to wait till there is a problem before we start testing? But also, how are people going to put dogs with conditions forward. I said, people aren't testing to start with, and another bunch of people don't even know about these tests and DNA testing. It was just, God, I was so surprised, and it was just, I just felt that you don't get that much pushback on a breed that is so small in population with 3 conditions that are DNA generated. You don't get that much pushback to testing, and the breed is totally healthy. I just knew that there was something wrong. Couldn't prove it. I just felt then that it just couldn't all be positive. It just couldn't all be right. That was then. This is now. And I do have some information that I want to share with you that I do think points to the fact that we should be testing. I think I can prove for a fact that there are conditions in the breed, and I think we need to do something about it. The second video that I'm going to put, the second part of it, is I'm going to talk about genetic testing. So for all of those of you who don't know much about it, just will give you some information and give you a bit of better understanding of what I'm talking about.